Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, Rooftop Solar to Empower MSMEs. This event is organized by Orwell Consulting in collaboration with MSME Business Forum. It is designed to equip you with the latest insights into the benefits of rooftop solar, investment options, financing mechanisms, and regulatory reforms. Our aim is to empower MSMEs to adopt sustainable and cost-effective energy solutions. One of the biggest challenges in rooftop solar industry is identifying reliable installers and navigating financing options. To address this, we have developed SolSavi, a platform I will introduce shortly after introducing our speakers. Before proceeding, we would like to extend a sincere thanks to MSME Business Forum India for their invaluable support in organizing this webinar. To begin with, I would like to introduce Mr. Ravi Sinha, the Director of MSME Business Forum. He's here with us, and with his vast experience in working with MSMEs, he's well positioned to introduce today's topic and set the stage for our discussion. I would invite Mr. Ravi and thank him for the collaboration and his efforts to conduct this webinar. Over to you, Mr. Sinha.
Namaskar and thank you, Frano. Thank you so much. And thanks to SolSavi, thanks to Orwell Consulting, thanks to our partners, Greenpill and Punjab Renewable for coming together in this initiative of highlighting about green transition, highlighting about how easily we can transit from where we are to adopting of renewable source of energy. Ladies and gentlemen, the beauty of this webinar, which has been conducted or which we are starting, and this is an outreach awareness program, is where we want to touch base on a very basic things. We do not want you to think that adopting solar, adopting rooftop solar, adopting green transition is a very tedious thing, or it's a very technically very complicated thing. The panelists you have are extremely well versed to guide you at a very basic level. We have Colonel Pronob, Senior Vice President from Punjab Renewable Energy and System. And we have Mr. Vikash Maheshwari, who has been implementing and funding rooftop solar projects. And I encourage all the audience here to please come up with all the questions. It may be of as simple as a question saying that, sir, what can be the minimum wattage on which we can work, to how do I calculate what is my requirement? Because SolSavi has made such beautiful calculator, and we want end of this seminar, end of this webinar, you all should be confident enough that you do not need any more basic learnings. The panelists here and the team here would like to present each and every solution which today Government of India visualizes, emphasizes on ease of doing business, on adoption of renewable energy, on adoption of clean energy. And end of the seminar, you are most welcome to write to SolSavi, MSME Business Forum India for any doubts. There has been a lot of hard work which has been put in by the team of SolSavi. I congratulate them to ensure that you all are very well equipped with the knowledge on green transition. So, ladies and gentlemen, MSME Forum and SolSavi will continue this awareness exercise. We will continue to bring senior panelists like Colonel Roy and Vikash ji for ensuring that your industry gets benefited from funding, from implementing to carbon credits. Everything that you need to know will be made to know by the panelists, by the esteemed panelists in next 1 hour. Thank you so much. and I wish you a happy interaction.
Thank you, Ravi sir. Thank you for the introduction. And we hope to continue and do more awareness sessions like this such that we can reach out to a larger audience. Before introducing our first speaker, I would like to check with the participants and take the second poll, which talks about what is the biggest challenge to install rooftop solar. As you can see, we see that various consumers or reactions say that financial options or lack of financial options is the major reason, along with lack of awareness of regulation. Further, we have difficulty in identifying trusted installers as well. Some of them find technical solutions to be one of the options that are challenging for installing rooftop solar. Thank you for answering the poll. We continue with the session. We are also honored to host two esteemed speakers who bring a wealth of knowledge and practical expertise to this session. Mr. Vikash and Colonel Pronob Roy, both the speakers have extensive experience in the renewable energy sector. The first speaker for the session is Mr. Vikash. Mr. Vikash Maheshwari is the Managing Director of Greenpill Renewable Energy Private Limited. He has over a decade of experience in renewable energy sector and has overseen numerous solar and hybrid EPC projects across India. He's our first speaker and will be talking about economic impacts, financing options, and installer role and support in context of rooftop solar.
Thank you, Mr. Pronob. Let me introduce myself. Myself, Vikash Maheshwari from Greenpill group of companies and mainly from Greenpill Renewable Energy. We are working in renewable energy sector for last 10 years and doing the rooftop and mega projects across India. We have completed nearly 500 mega projects across 10 states of India. And right now we have an order book of 100 megawatt, and up till March, we are having an order book of 250 megawatts. And today we are discussing the three things, I think. One is the economic benefit and the financing option for rooftop solar. Rooftop, yeah, is the first step towards the green and green future and sustainability. Uh, Many people are knowing that if we install a rooftop, then there is a no T&D loss and wheeling charges that Discom across the India is putting on the unit. So we are getting more benefiting by installing rooftop solar. Real-time set-off we get, and in many states there is a policy of carry forward the unit. For example, if we have installed 100 kilowatt of rooftops, it will generate 12,000 units a month. And in many cases, if you are not utilizing that 12,000 units, you will get a carry forward mechanism. There are many states are allowing that mechanism. So the economic benefit we can enjoy during the whole financial year. When you invest into the rooftop solar, the ROI you will get from the day one. When you start your rooftop, you will get instant monetary benefit from the Discom. The other benefit is you are installing in your premises, so there is no requirement of land and other overheads, and also it will be having a low maintenance for installing a rooftop solar. Typically, when we are calculating the ROI, it is a less than 3 year, and government of India has put up a single window mechanism where we can invest or we can install a rooftop system by applying the online. So when you see that immediate set of means, your lower the electricity bill, and in many cases government is giving a subsidy government incentive through subsidy. When you are investing in the residential rooftop, you are getting the subsidy part, but when you are investing in the commercial and industrial rooftop, many states are giving subsidies and many are not giving. But in and all, you are getting government incentives through subsidy, in capital subsidy, or in monetary gain of interest subsidy on the bank loan. So it become easy for investor to lower the period of ROI. So we have calculated in and around 3 years you will be getting your investment ROI. And by investing in rooftop solar, we can become a energy independence. So once little about Greenpill, we are working for last 10 years, completed 100 megawatt of rooftop solar projects, working more than in 10 states, and we have experienced manpower and team, and also we do AMC of the complete solar projects. Again, I say the government has given a single window system, because our Prime Minister set a target of 500 gigawatt RE mechanism by 2030, and in complete the target, the rooftop is making a pivotal role to achieving that target. Greenpill is doing turnkey, providing a turnkey solution by engineering, EPC, and the main mechanism is funding. Mr. Freno has given the poll, and in that 50% people are of dilemma how to getting finance of their rooftop system. So we have a pan-India network of mechanism where we can have a three type of financing option. We also invest in rooftop solar by RESCOM mechanism. Again, we are doing PPA for rooftop solar also. And third, if you are having 10% of your investment, we will invest 90% on your system, on your rooftop solar. So that is by leasing model. For example, if you want to invest invest 100 kilowatt of rooftop solar, we will invest 90% in your model, in your project. 10% it is your self investment. So by that we have a different model where you will be having a solution for financing mechanism. Even we have a zero collateral finance that will be very much helpful for bigger project like 500 megawatt or 500 kilowatt or 1 megawatt project that are allowed for rooftop mechanism. So in that bigger project, you will be getting a zero collateral loan based on our companies or your individual financial health. But yeah, we have this three different types of model where we have a solution for your pain pain point of your financing. So we are working pan-India network, and government is allowing in as of doing business by investing in rooftop solar. And the other is rescue model and leasing system. We are working on that. So we provide a total turnkey solution, provide PPA, long-term lease, to provide green power with no collateral requirement. We also provide a solution for ESG compliances and carbon credit system. Many are aware of carbon credit system, but not aware of how to avail that carbon credit. So we have the solutions where your investment or your rooftop solar can be registered with the carbon credit mechanism, and you can avail that carbon credit. The one more thing is nowadays there is a global compliance is required for ESG target, and I think the export oriented units and the heavy compliances unit are getting ESG target by global their partners. So we are providing that ESG compliances, in-depth ESG compliances with providing the green power system. And we are the only company in India to provide carbon credit and ESG compliances both in a single window system. So these are the different mechanism for economic benefit of rooftop solar and financing options for rooftop solar. And that's for from my end. You can carry forward, Mr. Friend.
Thank you so much for elaborating, sir, on the economic impacts and financing options. I have some queries to you and some queries that are posted in the chat as well. So I will add on to that. Would you want to elaborate how MSMEs can leverage rooftop solar to enhance their brand image and manage upfront cost? Now, when I say enhance brand images, maybe it is for marketing purposes or even other aims and goals that the company has, such as getting carbon credit. So maybe you can elaborate a little bit on carbon credit. And with upfront costs, I mean having different business models, which you touched on, but maybe you can elaborate on what is a RESCO model, because that is one of the questions that has been asked in the chat room. So if you can just tell us your opinion on how rooftop solar can leverage to enhance brand image and manage upfront costs.
Yeah, Fernand, that is a very good point to discuss in this current scenario. See, when you say the increase my companies or my enterprise brand image, everyone is talking right now in globally about the sustainability. So by investing in the green power or by the rooftop, you are getting the green power, number one. So you are getting the monetary benefit. Number two, you are adding something to the nature. So you are investing by rooftop, you are getting the sustainable, you are achieving the sustainability target. And you can tell your customer that we are committed to the nature, we are committed to the COP29 and COP28 summit that they have set the target. So by this mechanism, we are increasing our brand image, number one. Even though increasing the brand image, we can achieve the sustainable target by ESG mechanism. So if firms are listed firms, then they have to compulsory submit the BRSR report to their listed firms, to the stock exchange. So by investing in this rooftop solar, you can become the carbon neutral, or you can become the zero net zero. You are coming, or you are committed to the net zero target. So these all terms related to increase the brand image of your enterprise or your company. Number one. Number two, the model where there is a question of RESCO model. See, RESCO model means, if for example, you need to install a 500 kilowatt rooftop solar, okay, but you don't have that much capex to for your uh, rooftop solar. So what we do, we invest in your capex. For example, if there is a cost of 1.5 CR, we invest in your capex. We invest, we do each and everything. We invest, we install the rooftop solar, we do the government licensing, we complete the whole process where you will be getting the green power. Now, the number of units what generate per day and per month, you are liable to only pay that much amount. For example, if you and me are agreed to agreement of for say 4 rupees per unit. So for example, your rooftop solar is rating 10,000 units a month. So you are liable to pay 40,000 rupee uh, a month. So for with that, you are not investing in your capex, and though you are saving your electricity bill. So that is called a RESCO model, where we as a partner will install that in your capex, and you will be getting benefit by lowering your capex and getting benefit for generating the units. So
Sir,
this,
just to add on that, it was nice of you to explain how the RESCO model works, as well as the how brand image can help different industries. Additionally, with RESCO model, I think it is also a model that can be used where you don't have enough initial investment that you could make, and source and still want to have a sustainable operation. You can then take a RESCO model and source your electricity from that RESCO installation. Am I correct, sir?
yeah, exactly. Even
Okay.
one more thing where you can we have a leasing arrangement in that you have to invest only 10% of the capex, 90% we will lease out that project to you, and at the end of 10 years we will transfer that whole asset to you. That is also a good model to explore.
Yes, sir. That is, thank you very much for that. I have one more question for you to address. This is regarding rooftop solar installers. So what should MSME look for when they're selecting a rooftop solar installer to ensure quality and reliable performance? If you could just elaborate on this, it would be helpful for our participants to know what they would want to install.
Yeah, that is very good questions to discuss, because many people are putting सबसे सस्ता क्या है और सबसे अच्छा क्या है. But when you are investing in the rooftop, you have to make the certain checks where that are going to have in your installation or not, because quality is more important than the quantity. uh, I have seen many people where people are getting installation very cheaper rate, and after 3 4 years they are not getting their proper generation what they have committed. So when you are selecting your installer, you have to pre-check how many installations they have done, the company, how many years they are operating, how many megawatt they have installed capacity, and you should always have checks with their references, so that you get to know that after 3 years 4 years, after 10 years, you will be getting the same generation or committed generation what you have discussed. So there are the certain checks that we have already developed the checks, and if somebody wants to have that, we can very happy to share that.
It would be great, sir, if you could share it with us and we can then share it with all the participants. It would be a good information for us to have. Before finishing the first session, I would like to also ask Mr. Vikash, because there's a question in chat. What is the minimum capacity for financing? Is there a minimum capacity that you need to qualify for financing?
So minimum for household system, you are getting collateral free loan from SME banks, from PSU banks. But for commercial and for industrial, you need to have a minimum capacity of 50 kilowatt, so that it will be a sizable portion to get into the reality.
Thank you so much, sir. If I understand correctly, this 50 kilowatt is not for all of India. It depends on the state subsidy schemes. And correct me if I'm wrong there. It depends on which state regulation you are in and what is applicable in that particular state.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vikas. Please be with us during the session. If there is any other questions and inputs, then we will reach out to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Before proceeding further, I would like to talk a little bit about Solsavi, which we introduced in starting of this webinar. I will be sharing my screen. Please let me know if the screen is visible to you. So the screen that you are, thank you. If the screen that you are seeing is from Solsavi website. The Solsavi website was initially developed as a bridge to connect consumers with over 200 plus installers, and these installers, the consumers can then reach out to these installers through the search platform, as well as use blogs for learning more about rooftop solar, and use the calculator to estimate the size of rooftop solar. We will be taking you through the calculator if time permits at the end. We have a list of more than 200 plus installers all across India. You can find them through map, or you can also do a search of your location. Select an installer, and you can then also book a consultation call with them. We also have options for lenders who are in the market, some banks and their related information, some non-banking financial corporation and their information. So you can get more information about financing as well here. In resources, we have calculator, which I can take you through at the end of the session. We have also blogs and some FAQs for your reference. Thank you so much for answering the poll. 60% of the people have answered the poll. I will be sharing the poll with you, and the results should be on your screen. As you can see, 50% of the people who have answered believe that the reason is to reduce carbon emissions. Some are installed to comply with customers' requirements, some to adhere to legal requirements, and few of them to grow their market share, as well as build and strengthen the sustainable brand image. Thank you for answering the poll. I stop sharing here, and I will then introduce Colonel Pronob Roy. He is the next speaker, and Colonel Pronob Roy is the Senior Vice President for East Zone and North Zone at Punjab Renewable Energy Systems Private Limited. He has 25 plus years of leadership experience in strategic planning, operation management, and sustainability. He has an extensive expertise in biomass assessment, decarbonization strategies, and sustainable energy solutions, which include active involvement in promoting rooftop solar. He'll be talking to us about awareness requirement and rooftop solar regulatory challenges. I invite Colonel Pronob Roy to take the stage. Over to you, Colonel.
Thank you, Fano, for that introduction. So primarily, as I see, and the main focus over here is to what could be possibly the key barriers. Since I am a user, as also a person who's trying to promote rooftop solar, what I find in the industry, what comes back to us is that there are a couple of mute points. The first being financial constraints, wherein a lot of industry users, MSMEs especially, they say that the high upfront cost of about, say, from 40,000 to about 60,000 per kilowatt, with limited access to affordable loans. That's what has been being asked in the questions also. Debtors, the MSMEs, and therefore they're all looking for tailored financing options. Well, to answer that first point, tailored financing options are available in the environment. Like SIDBI has got low interest loans. MNRE is also giving certain subsidies, but then there is no standardization across the states. So that's a challenge. However, as we continue to conduct workshops like this, we can bring in more and more clarity into the system by bringing in more financial options. For instance, a 50 kilowatt system costing about rupees 25 lakhs can save about 5 lakhs annually, achieving a payback in 5 years. Now, that is where my predecessor also spoke about, that there are companies like him which are stepping in and even enabling the industry to come into the help in the capex part. Now, the second important challenge which I look at are technical challenges, where many MSMEs lack expertise in the system assessment installation and maintenance. Now, this leads to the inefficiencies like you have poor panel alignment or there is neglect in cleaning, and there are misconceptions such as solar doesn't work on cloudy days or it damages rooftops. Uh, they amplify the hesitation. The truth is that solar systems are durable, cost effective, and even generate electricity in the diffuse sunlight. Now, we need to kind of showcase a number of cases. I came across a case in Tirupur where we saw the savings. We also saw about High Life labels. They had showcased their case study was showcased in Deloitte report, but 10 lakhs was the annual saving in a 95 kilowatt system. Now, next is about regulatory and policy hurdles. What I get from the environment is that navigating approvals for net metering and grid connections is cumbersome, and inconsistent state policies further complicate the adoption. For example, Gujarat offers a rupees 20,000 per kilowatt subsidy, while Tamil Nadu focuses on interest subvention. Now, streamlining processes through single window clearance and consistent policy can address these challenges. However, this is a work in progress. It's not that it's not there at all. It is there. Some states have progressed very fast and very quickly on these, and some states are lagging behind, which I do admit. And that's where organizations like the MSME Forum come into play in giving the policy a cogent structure and tell them that what exactly are the challenges. Now, this was about the first point which you made, and about the second point about meeting green procurement standards. Now, many large corporates are prioritizing sustainability with their supply chains. MSMEs that integrate rooftop solar uh, into their operations are, I would say, better positioned to meet the green procurement standards. That's the new reality, and it is happening across sectors. Even when we are doing it for biomass, we are seeing the same thing. That end of the day, as parallelly when we are meeting the sustainability standards of the COP26 and the COP29 commitments, carbon saving coming into the market is the new kid in the block. Now, anybody who takes a front foot over here and starts working on a solar mechanism, Prespel does have, my company also has the capability to provide to you the carbon credit mapping along with other ecosystems. So there are cogen projects also where you can go for a biofuel plus solar, and that also is an option which you can pitch not only to your clients, but at a certain period of time, if you go through the correct certifications, you can monetize the carbon credit. Indian sectors like FMCG have taken a head-on lead over here, and we are seeing a lot of FMCGs now translating, and that's where if the entire traceback is done, your points also add up to the client's points, and that gives you a key differentiation. And I had one case. There's some SN Metallurgical Service. I will try and share it later, wherein they have increased their entire client base in Europe, wherein they could bring about using the same principles of carbon trading and saying that, okay, this is what we have invested in as far as the decarbonization effort and ESG effort is concerned. Now, solar adoption isn't just good for customer relationship, it's actually a magnet for sustainable investment. Now, your ESG profile, the MSME's ESG profile becomes very attractive to the green investors. And businesses with solar power access have better financing options. And even institutions like SIDBI are giving you low interest loans. Like a Tamil Nadu based textile MSME, it installed about 150 kilowatt rooftop solar system and secured about 3 crores in funding from an ESG focused equity firm. So these are issues which you can look at. Regulatory challenges, I do agree, but if I pin it down to a couple of them, one is the net metering approvals are pretty much slow, and grid connectivity standards are adding technical barriers across the board, and the state policies are inconsistent. Like Maharashtra puts net metering at about 1 megawatt, while Uttar Pradesh offers more flexibility. And tariff and surcharge issues are there. Additional charges like grid support fees reduce the financial appeal of the solar adoption. And there have been a fair amount of advancement in the metering technology, which my predecessor has also talked about. There is remote monitoring, there are about bidirectional meters, smart meters, and we are talking about even blockchain integration. That's the new things which are happening. So as a industry body, we're trying to streamline these approvals, standardize these policies across all renewable energy resources, not only solar, so that the MSME has got a plethora of options and can also go for co-generation projects and subsidies for the smart meters that is also needed, which again the industry is looking at and putting it as a part of their O&M operations and maintenance package. So this is in broad gist in about 5 to 7 minutes. I've tried to cover the three agenda points which Pranav had brought out, and I'm open to any questions which might be asked, and we can take it ahead from there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for elaborating on the points that we have discussed. I would like to make some note. As you mentioned, there are tailored financing options. We have noticed some kits that are being released by some of the installers, but these are primarily focused on residential units. In case if we are able to find financiers who want to do similar kits for MSMEs or commercial and industrial units, it will definitely help take financing to the next step. You have also helped us with some case studies, and you have pointed out that these case studies show that rooftop solar can be adopted into MSMEs and can prove beneficial for them financially, as well as help in improving their sustainability image or brand image by reporting it to ESG, as well as using carbon credits for their benefit. Finally, with policy regulation, you correctly point out that getting permission for net metering is challenging, as well as DISCOM grid interconnections permissions are challenging. However, I would also like to point out that net metering is now available in all states and union territories. However, in some states and union territories, it is restricted to certain consumers. So it might not be available for all for MSME consumers in some states, such as in Tamil Nadu, it is applicable only for domestic consumers. Additionally, we have, as you pointed out, there are multiple new solar metering mechanisms that can be employed, such as group net metering and virtual net metering. Now, these two metering mechanisms facilitate uptake of rooftop solar for consumers who do not have enough roof space, or for an owner who has multiple facilities and wants to make use of such metering mechanisms to help adopt rooftop solar as well as gain financial benefits. So we are moving across, but these metering mechanisms help and facilitate us to faster adopt rooftop solar. Any comments on this, Pronob sir, on the new metering mechanisms that are being adopted now all across India, such as group net metering and virtual net metering?
Yeah, you're right, and that's exactly what I've been trying to tell. That when we are talking about metering, bidirectional meters, where both energy consumed from the grid and the energy exported to it, ensuring accurate billing under the net metering, this is a new step. And even the remote monitoring, where the smart meters with remote monitoring capabilities allow regulators and DISCOMs to oversee the energy generation and consumption seamlessly. Now, as far as blockchain is concerned, we are looking at building in blockchain into the smart meters themselves to create tamper-proof records of energy transactions. Now, a lot is happening in this space. What is needed at this point of time is that MSMEs need to focus on finding cogently the policies in their particular sector and their particular state. And once they focus on this, I'm sure that it's just a matter of time before the benefits which are given to the domestic solar users will transcend to the industrial solar users also. A lot of policy talk is happening on that, that all these facilities should be given to MSMEs, and it's just a matter of time before it all comes into being. It's not going to take much longer time because the proliferation and the targets to be met as far as the climate targets are there. If this proliferation doesn't speed up, uh, just one renewable energy source is not capable to take on everything. And as I said, further, we should look for cogent projects, and we should also look at kind of wherever there are MSME hubs, or there are kind of what do you call it?
Industrial clusters.
Industrial clusters, like we are doing it for biomass. Similarly, we can do it for MSME also, where every roof is covered with a solar panel and a centralized power metering facility is provided. Such engagements, I would say, are also on the Monish has told me about it, wherein we are engaging with the state governments to allow this facility also to come so that all MSMEs pitch together. And there is a certain amount which is billed to them.
Thank you so much for your input, sir. So before moving on to the next session, I would like to launch another poll to check why, when you plan to install rooftop solar. This gives us an idea of, are you planning to install immediately? Because then I go into the demo simulation and I can show you how to use the calculator to find out and evaluate your rooftop solar size. As you can see from the results, we see that most of some of them have already installed rooftop solar. Some are planning to install in the few months, in the next month, some next year. Some have not planned, and some are not planning to install rooftop solar. And this gives us why the participants are attending, what they need to know, how they need to know, and what they can take from the session. So taking you to the calculator, we see that we are on the home page of the calculator, the demographic page. We have split the calculator into multiple pages. Initially, we would ask you to enter a PIN code, and taking the consideration of PIN code, your weather information is loaded into the calculator. For example, if I give a PIN code where I'm currently residing, it takes in that weather information and changes the consumer type. If you notice that these are consumer types that are available in Tamil Nadu, hence we have these consumer types. I select an industrial consumer for which the industrial tariffs as well as policies then get loaded in the backend to show you that there are two options for industrial consumers. While for domestic consumers, there is only one option of a voltage connection. Continuing with the selection of a low tension voltage, I click next and proceed to define the policies. In Tamil Nadu, for industrial low tension consumers, we have only net feed-in mechanism. While if I change my selection and go to a domestic consumer, you see that net metering mechanism is also available. So we have tried to facilitate policy and regulation details into the calculator so you can make appropriate choices for estimating your rooftop solar size. I select the net feed-in mechanism and I select a solar-only technology to move further. The next is to define your consumption. Here I would ask to launch the poll where you can give out your monthly electricity consumption, which I can use it for the simulation. So you can let us know what is your monthly consumption that you or your unit incurs, and we will take that into consideration for the simulation. As you can see, 57% of the participants consume less than 5,000 units per month. But we also have a varied distribution, which says about between 5,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 20,000 units, and about 20,000 units as well. So taking into consideration the poll results, I will take appropriate monthly consumption. In Solsavi, we give you two options to define electrical consumption, either average monthly, which is a single value, or a month-wise, where you can fill in all 12-month detail of your electricity consumption. For this simulation, I will take average monthly and I will enter 5,000 units. Considering the sanction load, I take an estimation of 25 kilowatt. I would like to show you that we have taken into consideration the validations for sanction load in respect to the voltage connection. So in Tamil Nadu, if I have a connection more than 112, I would be a high tension consumer. Below 112 kilowatt would be a low tension consumer. So we have factored this validation into the system as well. So we can guide you to make correct simulations. Next is how your load is distributed in 24 hours. We see that 50% of the load is distributed here between 9 to 5. We have facilitated whether you want to define a different weekend consumption pattern or same weekend consumption pattern. For this simulation, we say we don't want a different consumption pattern and proceed to define technical financials for rooftop solar. The financial estimation here taken is from benchmark cost as well as installer portals. You can modify this according to your requirements, but we have just given an estimation and you can take consideration of a quotation if you have a quotation or an estimation if you have an estimation. Clicking next, we have two options. Optimize will give you an optimized result, while customize will facilitate you to enter the results. Most of the states limit your PV capacity on sanction load, and we have taken that into consideration. And if you enter a value above your sanction load, then it gives you an error. So we consider this sanction load to the maximum sanction load and run the simulation. It takes a few seconds to give you results. This is the summary results. We get an average annual saving. We get a payback. We get system cost. What is the return on investment? What system size have you selected? And what are the avoided emissions? To get a detailed report, we ask for your name as well as email ID. So we can send you further details of how to contact installers and how to proceed as a next step to install rooftop solar. Further details into this simulation gives you a load analysis of what you have entered. You can see your load profile. You can see the inputs that you have entered, some requirements of area as well as financial. We give you comparison of bill for 25 years. So you can compare how your system will behave for 25 years. You can see the sourcing, that is from solar, how much it has contributed, from grid, how much you have contributed, what is the amount of export. You can select any date in that particular year to see how your solar system behaves and what unit are going to load, what are going to export. You can export this PDF and use this as a reference to contact the installers or find an installer through the Solsavi website. I hope this simulation was clear, and in case if you would like to reach out to us for more details on this, please feel free to reach out. I would ask, we are short on time. I mean, we have crossed our time, but I would ask the speakers to give us 5 more minutes. And as there was a question, can you please ask your question now? I would urge you to ask questions now if you have any questions to the speakers.
Good afternoon, Ravi.
Yeah.
I want to
Yes, Mr. Ravi.
understand what is the carbon credit and how it is useful for the MSMEs or maybe individual customers.
I think Mr. Vikash, can you please help us understand what is carbon credit and how it can be useful to MSME or industrial consumers?
Yes, sir. I will give you one quick answer. Carbon credit, there is a mechanism where those people who are not investing in renewable energy, they can buy the carbon credit from where the people who are investing into the renewable energy, they will generate the carbon credit. So, for example, if you have installed 1 megawatt solar project, approximately you will be getting 1,800 carbon credit. There is a long calculator, but I will give you in short 1,800 carbon credit. And when you sell to that carbon credit to the global market, or there is a global platform available, you will get the monetary gain. So, in and all, you will be getting something 1.5 lakhs rupee yearly by selling that carbon credit. So, MSME can benefit that it is the extra monetary gain from the set off that what the discom that will give you in the form of unit set off. That is the extra benefit you will be getting. So that is a add-on advantage for the MSME.
Thank you so much, sir, for clarifying that. So, in short, it could be an added income for the MSMEs and other industries.
What is the minimum capacity for claiming carbon credit, like 500 kilowatt or megawatt or 10 kilowatt
Sir,
customer also can have that benefit?
Sir, actually, there is a long mechanism, but doing the 500 or 500 kilowatt or 1 megawatt project and registering on the global platform, there is a huge fees applicable to that. So, if you are going to eligible the carbon credit, minimum size is 500 kilowatt project, but you have to club the many small projects together, and then you can register to the global platform, or the person who are assisting you to the getting the carbon credit. For example, Greenpill is very we happy if someone is have installed a 500 kilowatt project or megawatt project, we can assist you by in the form of getting the carbon credit.
Thank you so much, sir. Due to shortage of time, I think there was Mr. Chaitanya who wanted to ask a question as well.
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Roy. One specific thing is I missed out on the last part Mr. Roy mentioned about MSMEs should get clarity on their policies going further to make best of this particular solar rooftop systems. Can that part be specified, please? I missed out completely on that.
Mr. Roy?
Yeah, so basically what I was trying to bring out over here, Chaitanya, was that every state, there's no standardization of policies which are happening. So therefore, wherever is the industry at that particular point, if your industry is in a particular state, there are state-specific policies where the industrial MSME is also getting certain subsidies in terms of loans, in terms of financial support, and so on and so forth. Having said that, I also brought out that since, as my predecessors brought out, that there is a green credit mechanism which is going on parallelly about the carbon credit which you are accruing, and therefore the government of the day with the COP29 targets which we have, a lot of these benefits which are being given to the domestic users are going to translate to the industrial users, and we are in talks with a lot of state governments in trying to get that done. So it's just a matter of time when it comes up. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roy. I would like to touch base with you sometime with respect to the same to understand better. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roy, and as well as Chaitanya for the question. I apologize for not taking any more questions. We are running short out of time, but please do write to us if you have any questions, and we will try to reach out to you as soon as possible. Finally, before ending the session, I will ask my team to post the feedback form link on the chat. It would be really appreciated if you could fill in the form before moving out, because then we get feedback from the participants and we can make this session much more interactive and better for the participants. Please do fill out the form before going so that we can get your feedback and we can use this to improve the webinar session. I would take this opportunity. I would like to inform that the link for the feedback form is on the chat, and you can use that link to fill in the form. I would take this opportunity to thank both the speakers for their time and to provide us with invaluable information. And also, I would like to thank Mr. Ravi Sinha from MSME Business Forum to help organize this event. Thank you, speakers, and thank you, Ravi sir.